Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Videogame Shoebox. I'm Mike Notridge. Street Fighter II is one of the most popular fighting games of all time. Originally released in 1991, people were wowed by the outlandish characters, their special abilities, and the location in which they were throwing down. And the music. The music was, and still is, especially fantastic. It was also the start of a trend that Capcom continues to this day, as Street Fighter II had several different versions released, adding new game speed options, the ability to earn extra points by performing combos, difficulty balance changes, and even adding new fighters. This was clearly an approach that worked for Capcom, as it has been their way of doing things ever since, with Street Fighter III receiving a total of 3 releases in Street Fighter III New Generation, Second Impact, and Third Strike, and Street Fighter IV also receiving Super Street Fighter IV, Super Street Fighter IV Arcade Edition, and finally Ultra Street Fighter IV. Capcom claim that this is not going to happen with the 5th installment of the franchise, but let's withhold our judgment until Street Fighter VI releases. The version of Street Fighter II I'm looking at today is the New Challengers, the 4th game in the Street Fighter II sub-series. Originally released on consoles in 1994, the New Challengers lives up to its name by not only providing balance changes and more refined graphics and music thanks to a new engine, the CP System 2, but 4 entirely new characters to introduce in addition to the 12 available in the previous versions. Even though the fighter count rose to 16, the number of matches in the single player mode remained unchanged. In previous versions you would fight 8 matches, followed by the 4 boss characters. The Grand Masters consisted of Balrog the Boxer, Vega, the claw-wielding Spanish ninja, Sagat, Master of Muay Thai, and finally M, or Master Bison, the psycho-powered leader of the evil Shadaloo. More on those guys later though. From the new fighters and onwards however, the game would choose 8 random fighters from the pool and then you would fight the 4 bosses in order. So if you happened to be playing in the arcade and only had a single credit and still managed to beat the game, there could have been up to 4 characters that you still hadn't even seen. I understand why it was designed this way of course, as arcades are invented and designed to drain either your pocket money or your parents stop bothering me for 5 minutes emergency cash, but when it happened to an 8-year-old me, I couldn't help but feel slightly cheated. But the bonus stages where you can beat up cars with your bare hands are still there, so I guess all could have been forgiven pretty quickly for me back then. Take that, stupid car! Now back to those boss characters. With the exception of Sagat, the original Japanese version of Street Fighter II, and every version and new game since, have all had the names changed around for the other 3 masters in the international versions of the games. Balrog, the boxer, was named M. Bison in the Japanese market and was designed to look like real-life former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson. You couldn't really tell mid-fight, but his portrait on the character select screen made it clear that M. Bison and M. Tyson was unlikely to be a coincidence. His name was swapped to Balrog during localization for fear that the likeness might have caused a likeness infringement lawsuit. I doubt Tyson's lawyers would have liked pictures of how he looked after I was done with him ending up in the papers, so Bison became Balrog, the original Balrog became Vega, and the original Vega would become who we know as M or Master Bison. Still hates Sagat though. Look at him, laughing. I'll show you. Well, that's it for this week's Video Game Shoebox, but be sure to tune in next time for another step down memory lane as I dust off some more cartridges. Be sure to let me know on Twitter any games from your childhood you'd like to see on here. I've been Mike Notridge, and I will see you next time. What's in your Video Game Shoebox?
And that's about it for this edition of Player Attack. Thanks for watching. Next week, we become a volunteer fire lookout in the aftermath of the Yellowstone fires of 1988 in Firewatch, and chat to Wargaming about their quest to dominate the galaxy in Master of Orion. In the meantime, you can catch us at playerattack.com. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and if you've got something you want to say, send us an email, mailbox@playerattack.com, or just hop on our forums. Till next week, I'm Jessica Citizen, and this is Player Attack.